Today I wanted to do a video using all of this new makeup that just came out. This is the new Soft Matte Complete foundation by Nars, and they sent me 3 of the shades with the corresponding concealer. The Nars Soft Matte Complete foundations come in 34 shades. I did do a look with this foundation for my Instagram, so I did try it on, but I wanted to do kind of a review here on my YouTube channel. So if you wanted to see how the Nars Soft Matte Complete foundation looks on mature skin, you can see it here. Nars Soft Matte Complete concealers are not new. They're not new. They've been in the market for I think a year or so, but they have added new shades to them. Now there are 30 shades. I think before it was maybe 16 shades or 14 shades. So I'm gonna put all of this together on my face. My winter shade is Santa Fe. So this is the shade that I use for the Natural Radiant foundation. And so I'm gonna swatch from light to dark. Sahil and Punjabi are more yellow. You see Santa Fe is more neutral. So I'm gonna let those sit there for a little bit. And this is the shade Custard for the Soft Matte Complete Concealer. This is, actually, I think maybe I should swatch it on my face. I'm just gonna swatch it on my face so you can see what it looks like. So this is Custard, and this is the color I use normally for the creamy concealer from Nars. This is Macadamia. And then Canal. I think that's what you say, how you say it. It's called Canal. Canal 2.75. This is Custard, Macadamia, and this one is Canal. And this is the foundation. They said that the foundation wasn't gonna oxidize, but I feel like they got a little tiny bit darker to my eyes. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you feel like they got oxidized a little tiny bit since I put it on? I feel like it got a little bit darker, but anyhow, let's just wipe that off, and I'm just gonna get into the application. What I'm gonna use is the Fenty primer. I'm gonna use this first to keep my face hydrated. I already put on my cream and moisturizer, so my face is prepped. I'm gonna use the Fenty Soft Silk Pro Filter Hydrating Primer on my skin. Because this is a matte foundation, I want to keep my face nice and hydrated. I felt that Sahel was the best match for me right now because it's summertime. So, and I did get some sun. I'm going to put on a little bit of this on a beauty blender. And this foundation sets really quickly, so you want to work fast. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get you closer so you can see how it works. So with a beauty blender, it's a damp beauty blender. I always use a damp beauty blender. So here is half of my face with applying it with a beauty blender. Let's just show you. I'm a combination, so I'm oily in the C-zone and I'm dry everywhere else, especially in this area and in this area. I feel like I'm more dry. It depends on the time of the year too. If it's summertime, I'm more normal oily, but in the wintertime, I'm more dry oily. So right now it's summertime, so I'm more normal on the rest of my face. So this is one coat of this foundation on this side, and then this side I have nothing on. You can see a lot of redness here, and oh, it's so hot. I'm actually perspiring. Sorry, but here this side you can see some redness, and it canceled out all the redness here. As far as texture goes, you know, it's still there. It's not super matte though. It's more, it doesn't feel like a super matte, but it has a lot of coverage, and it says that it's a 16-hour wear. You can see how my pores look when I don't put foundation on, so it's not too bad. But on this side, pores are, you know, there. I normally wear medium to light foundations because of that, because I feel like full coverage foundations really make my skin and the texture on my face more pronounced. So I try to keep everything light on my skin. I mean, this definitely looks like I have a foundation on. I have this blue vein going here on this part of you can see it over here. Sometimes you can see it on this side more, but I wanted to see if it covers that blue vein and it does cover it pretty well. Brushes always apply too much coverage, and I don't want to make my skin have more coverage than this. Already the Beauty Blender, I feel like it gave me a really nice coverage. So I'm going to use my fingers to apply the other side. And I just put a little bit, like even less than a pea size. Let's see how much of my face I can cover. It dries really quickly though. I can tell you that. So quick. You want to work in small sections. This is all I'm putting on my forehead. Maybe I will set this foundation around the nose area, because that's where I get more oily, that it kind of sinks into my pores there. But we'll look at it. We'll look at it after I apply this. I wasn't expecting it to be skin-like because it is a matte foundation. I'm going to put a little bit in my textured area to see how it looks after a second coat. The second coat actually covered up the texture area much better, I feel, with the finger. But with the Beauty Blender, I got everything covered really well. Beauty Blender, finger application. I can see a lot of pores here. Actually, I'm actually perspiring too. I got 3 fans going and the AC, so that's how hot it is. So, and I know that people are saying that this is transfer resistant. If you wear face masks, I could put the mask on and just kind of press on it and do a little test like that. I want to show you a swatch of the Santa Fe Soft Matte Complete foundation. So if you need to find your shade, you can tell what the differences are. And so this is Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation in shade Santa Fe, and this is Soft Matte Complete Foundation in shade Santa Fe. It seems like the Soft Matte Complete Foundation is very slightly darker than the Santa Fe shade from Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. For the concealer, I'm going to use the Custard color because I want my under eyes to be a little bit lighter than my actual foundation. So here we go. And I'm going to put some on top of my eyelids because they are looking pretty brown. The concealer has a pretty good coverage. I like how much it cancels out brown and redness on the skin. I'm not going to use my normal primer this time, eyeshadow primer. I'm just going to use the eyeshadow, the Nars eyeshadow on top of this. I don't like how this foundation is looking on my nose. You can see those dots. Can you see those dots? I can definitely see them. And I think you can see them in camera too. That's not my favorite thing. You know what? I want to put some of that concealer on this dot here, see if it covers. That's good. Look, it's all gone. I actually really like the concealer. It's not really setting under my eyes, but because it's kind of creamy, I'm not sure. I might have to set it. It looks like it might gather in my fine lines. I already see a little bit of that happening. So I am going to powder where I put concealer on and in my T-zone. I'm going to powder my face with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. And I'm going to use the puff this time because I want to see if I can get rid of these dots on my nose. And this is a good way. This is a good technique if you have textured skin. This is a good technique to use if you want to powder your face and you want to minimize texture on your skin. You get your puff, you saturate it with the powder. Kind of take the excess powder out. We don't want too much powder. And roll the puff on your skin like this. I'm gonna put some on my cheeks right here where I have texture, and on my nose. Whatever I have left on this, I'm gonna put it under my eyes. It really didn't take care of what's happening on my nose. I don't know what's happening on my nose. I'm gonna do my eyebrows and stuff, and I'll be back to show you how the eyeshadow and the mascara look. And yeah, I'll be right back. This is a beautiful eyeshadow. I mean, it's got all the colors that are so beautiful, like this one, this one. These are all the like the shades that get me excited right here. This concealer does crease on the eyelids, so if you have oily eyelids like I do, then you may want to use an eyeshadow primer so you don't get the creasing there. So I want to set my eyes with this shade first, this lighter shade, to set my concealer. By the way, this eyeshadow is called Extreme Effect Eyeshadow Palette. I don't think I said the name of it, so I wanted to tell you what it's called. I'm just going to do it all over the lid. Nars eyeshadows are so pigmented. I'm going to try the lighter shade first. I knew it. These are so pigmented. Like that, this color right here looks so much lighter in the pan than it does when you apply it, and it just looks so pigmented. I'm going to get a clean blending brush, and I'm just going to blend this out here so there's no harsh lines. I want to try a cool shade. I'm going to try this shade here. I'm using the Complex Culture brush, the blending brush. Gotta tap the brush because I don't want any fallout on the foundation that we just worked so hard to blend. Oh yes, 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 yes. I'm actually really liking this color. So just deepening the outer V. And a little bit of fallout, but it's not a big deal. We're gonna do this. Super, super duper pretty. Ooh, I love it. We're gonna take some of that same plum shade, and then we're gonna put it right under the outer part of the lower lash line. And I always have a towel next to me, or a paper towel or something, to wipe off the brushes. Then I'm gonna go with the same, that salmon shade that we put on in the crease. I'm gonna put that right after that plum shade. Just kind of blending it into it. We'll just put this shade. This is so subtle, but so pretty. And if you're not into very sparkly eyes, I feel like this is a good shade to kind of use if you want to use a little bit, but you're not into the very heavy sparkle. This is like a kind of a nice champagne shade. I'm not going anywhere above the moving lid. I'm just going to stop right there. Now, depending on how much eyelid space you have, I have more eyelid space, but if you don't have a lot of eyelid space, what you could do is do a cut crease and carve your eyelid with a concealer and then apply your lighter shade. I really like this color. I want to see how intense it is, shall we? Oh, it's gold. It's beautiful. It's very beautiful. I'm going to swatch this one too so you can see. Oh my gosh, this shade. What? That is so pretty. Gosh, I wish I could put this on. Maybe I still can. Let me see. I might have to take some of the excess off, so because I really put my finger in there. I think I want to tap a little bit of this here, just for the heck of it. Why not, right? So pretty. I hope this camera does it justice, or this lighting does it justice, because I want you to see how pretty the shade is. And it's not as orange on the eyelids. It's not as orange as it looked on the swatch. That got me really excited. I'm glad I tried that shade. Okay, so let's go on, and I'm gonna do the rest of my, oh no, actually, wait, don't go. I was gonna try this on in front of you. Here's the one for the Nars Climax Extreme Mascara. The bristles are large, ribbed bristles, and the brush is made for volumizing your eyelashes. Okay, so this is one coat. We're gonna go in with the second coat. I usually give my mascara 3 coats, but let's do second coat and we'll call it a day. Two coats, one coat. 2 coats on both of them. They're very volumizing. This mascara is very volumizing and lengthening at the same time. My final thoughts for the Nars Soft Matte Complete Foundation is that it's a little bit more full coverage than I personally like. If you're looking for a foundation that's a fully pigmented foundation and it covers all the redness and discoloration on the skin, this is a really nice foundation to use. As far as using Nars Soft Matte Complete Foundation for mature skin, but if you have enlarged pores, fine lines, and texture on your skin, it will be okay, but I have to warn you, it does show through, your pores will show through a little bit more because this foundation sets so fast and it dries down so quickly. You don't really have that much time to work with this foundation. So you have to work in sections to make sure you blend everything nicely in that section and then move on to the next section, because if you put this on all over the skin and try to blend the entire skin, you may experience some patchiness with it. As far as being oil absorbing, I agree, it does absorb oil, but it doesn't look like the kind of matte that looks dry. The concealer was really nice and the concealer didn't sink into my fine lines. It really did well around my eye area and it actually covered the blue vein that goes up here. This part here was the part that really bugs me because I don't like foundation that create that dot on my nose and actually sink into the pores like that. And just because the fact that I didn't have enough time to blend that out because it had already dried down, it lifted, the beauty blender lifted some of the foundation on my nose. If you were curious to know if this foundation does transfer on the mask, I just wanted to put on a white mask and show you. It looks like the only thing that transferred on the mask is the lipstick that I was wearing. Everything else stayed on my face and didn't transfer, which is, I don't know if this is the most accurate test for mask because, you know, it would help if actually you sweated and you were out there, but I was just wanted to just kind of put something white on the foundation and show you if it did rub off in on the mask, but it didn't. I wouldn't recommend putting foundation on before you know, when you are wearing your mask. So that's just something I wanted to put out there, but I did want to do the mask test just in case you're going somewhere and you wanted to have foundation under there. But my recommendation is that if you can go without any makeup in this area, that would be ideal. The Extreme Effect eyeshadow, I really liked the pigmentation and some of the colors were really surprising. They were really beautiful and they blend really nicely. And it's very flattering colors that you can wear every day, and the pigmentation was excellent. And I didn't try all the colors, but the ones that I did try were really pretty. And my final thoughts for the Climax Extreme Mascara, I really like how it lengthened and it volumized my lashes. The only thing that I would say is that take off the excess product off the wand before you apply it, because it could clump up and actually make your lashes stick together. So do wipe it off before you apply the mascara. But the mascara is very volumizing. It actually, I feel like it adds fiber to your lashes, so it makes it look even longer than they are. So I really like it. Now, I would be curious to see what the difference is between this NARS Climax Extreme versus the NARS regular. The NARS Climax, the one that they came out with last year. So I might do a comparison of those. If you want to see that video comparing the NARS Climax mascara, comparing it with the Climax Extreme, let me know and I'm going to make that video for you. I hope that this was helpful to you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Stay healthy, be safe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.